Hi friends, I wish everyone happy Independence Day. Vande Matram. Friends, my name is Deepak Pandey, a finance professional, law graduate and a social worker. I have been working to provide legal aid and assistance to poor and deprived people of our societies. 15th August is the most important day for us. On this day, we not only remember all our great leaders who sacrificed their lives in getting freedom for us, but we also try to inculcate their qualities for the unity of our nation. Today, on this auspicious occasion, we are going to start a new initiative. This credit goes to Mr. Aman Chouhan, who is a law student and founder of Law Ke Bande, whom I consider as my younger brother. He repeatedly requested me to prepare some videos for the betterment of our society and to spread awareness amongst law students and legal professionals. Friends, this is my first video dedicated to law students and legal professionals. It is expected from all of us to contribute and share their suggestions, complaints, if any, to make further videos more informative and useful. But it is our humble request not to share their suggestions and complaints in anonymous manner. Before I proceed to say anything further, it is important to clear that this video has been prepared for educational and legal awareness purposes only, and it can in no way be construed as any kind of disrespect to our legal and administrative system, direct or indirect, or holding us liable in any manner whatsoever, financially or otherwise. Any disconnect in opinion must be brought to our notice to make this initiative a success. For those who have a strong disagreement with any part of this video or content, have a choice to stop watching this video. Through this video, our attempt is to spread awareness amongst people about their fundamental and legal rights, because after some time, some of us will become eminent lawyers, some of us will become judges, and rest of us would be joining legal profession in any other way. And this is our responsibility to build national spirit in our society. So let's start and take a look at world's top 5 justice systems. At the end, we will attempt to analyze actual position of our Indian justice system against these top legal systems. The present list has been compiled from the World Justice Project's Rule of Law Index out of 113 countries. These 5 best justice systems with their highest adherence to the rule of law have been prepared from the perspective of its citizens and residents. However, it was almost impossible for me to arrange these nations rank-wise, so this list has been prepared after analyzing their best practices that actually made them best justice systems. In total, there are 8 factors which have been taken into considerations while compiling the WJP Rule of Law Index, and they are: constraints on government powers, absence of corruption, openness of governments, fundamental rights, order and security, regulatory enforcement, civil justice, and of course, last but not the least, the most important, criminal justice systems. So here, the list of 5 top best justice system in this world. They are: at number 5, it's Netherlands. Netherlands, the Dutch judiciary system, went through many changes in recent years. Over the past few years, the judiciary has become more self-sufficient and operates at a greater distance from the Ministry of Justice. The Dutch judiciary system went through many changes in recent years. Over the past few years, the judiciary has become more self-sufficient and operates at a greater distance from the Ministry of Justice. The Netherlands have a transparent court system. The International Criminal Court is based at Hague, and in keeping with its lofty standards, Netherlands adheres to the highest tribunal standards in its regular judicial system as well. The country has relatively few judges, with about 14 against per 1 lakh people. It takes an average of 90 days to complete a trial. most important feature of their judicial system is that each court has its board, which is in charge of the general management and day-to-day running of the court. This board consists of president of the court, the director of the operations, and the heads of the sectors. Integral management. The court board is responsible for the administration of justice as well as for the day-to-day administration of the court, including the finances. To provide support for the court board, there are management support units in areas such as human resources and organization, finance, and information management. Number 4. The Swedish courts operations are governed by an executive branch of government, the Ministry of Justice. However, the courts are independent to pass judgments without any intervention. The courts hold the highest level of transparency for its citizens, and another noteworthy aspect of the Swedish justice system is its criminal reform outlook. People in Sweden usually quote this sentence used by Erwin James: "Prison is not for punishment in Sweden. We get people into better shape." Swedish legal system believes that it is incorrect to punish its prisoners because imprisonment is punishment where prisoners lose their fundamental rights in prisons. There have been drastic reduce in the incarceration cases. Number 3. Finland. Finland has a 3-tier with dual court system. The dual court terms refer to the 2 hierarchies of courts in each system. Like Sweden, the Ministry of Justice, which functions as a central administration body of the government, handles its courts operations. The Constitution of Finland does give court much independence, and there are many provisions to protect its judges. Because Finland is a consensus democracy, therefore every decision is consulted amongst its many shareholders, due to which citizens tend to feel attached with their justice system and have high level of trust in it. Number 2. Norway. The judiciary of Norway is independent, and there are many positive aspects in their legal system. Prisoners reform system, like Sweden, with their free legal counsel, gives every citizen access in civil cases. The main courts of justice in Norway are the Supreme Court, the courts of appeal, and the district courts. All of these can rule on both civil and criminal cases. In addition, there are special courts, specially deals with land consolidation matters, land disputes, and the industrial tribunal. Number 1. Denmark. The Danish judiciary is an independent body and takes care of administration of courts. The administration's board of directors consists of representatives of the court staff, users, the universities, and the Danish Employment Council. The board of directors appoints a managing director to be in charge of day-to-day affairs, court budgets, and the allocation of recourse to the courts. The 3 basic levels in the Danish legal systems are district courts, high courts, and the Supreme Court. However, there are other courts in Denmark comprising range of other institutions with special functions. Denmark's citizens have a complex relationship with their governing powers, with more people distrusting their parliament, but most of them trusting their judiciary system. Since the 50s, Denmark's legal system has undergone many reforms, with a major makeover coming from the absolute independence of its judicial system from the country's legislative branches. Since the major overhaul of its judicial system, Denmark continues to innovate by adding more courts to its judicial structure to better meet its citizens' needs. The Danes opted to remove the dependence of its courts from the Ministry of Defense, the government body, and oversaw its operations prior. Thus, it is safe to assume that amongst the countries, Denmark has the most free-standing legal system. There are other complex facets of the Danish legal system, namely because of the existence of review boards and the special courts. Their judges are heavily scrutinized and all of their records are made available to the public to ensure absolute transparency in all matters. As far as lowest ranking countries with the worst judicial systems are concerned, these nations are Venezuela, Cambodia, Afghanistan, Egypt, Cameroon. Russia is ranked precariously low as most African and Asian countries are not known for upholding civil rights of its citizens. Indian justice system, judicial system of India against these top nations. Indian justice system. In India, judiciary is independent since independence, which does not entertain any intervention. Indian judiciary always been proactive for the improvement in our judicial system. Our judiciary has always accepted anything good coming from outside. The same can be observed in number of judgments delivered by our Honorable Apex Court. On the other hand, Government of India has also been taking necessary steps to bridge the gap between other justice systems and Indian justice system. For that purposes, we do have an independent law commission which aims to ensure that law keeps up with the time we live in, so as to ensure and maximize justice in our society and promoting good governance under the rule of law. Law Commission of India is neither a constitutional body nor a statutory body. It is truly an ad hoc and advisory body whose work is to do research and make recommendations for law reforms such as amendments and updations of prevalent and inherited laws. Honorable Apex Court of India also acknowledged the functions of Law Commission and followed its recommendations in its number of judgments. From time to time, Law Commission of India asks from public for their opinion. Being law students or from legal profession, it is our duty to help our nation to revive national spirit. But the main obstacle to this ultimate goal is corruption that is existing in every branch of our lives, and judiciary is not untouched from corruption. As of now, we usually try to skip this crucial problem pretending that nothing is wrong in our justice system. But situation has changed and unethical practices, arbitrary practices and corruption in our justice system is judicially acknowledged. Major changes is that our huge young Indian crowd wants revolutionary changes as soon as possible. The only thing that I can say at this stage is that the issue of unethical practices, arbitrary practices and corruption in our justice system require serious consideration in order to obtain earliest solution without any further delay. It would be appropriate to quote one recent speech delivered by our Honorable Supreme Court Judge, Mr. Ranjan Gogoi, who explained social change and just judicial reforms are interconnected, and considering the situation of Indian judiciary, it is urgent to do further. It would be appropriate to quote one recent speech delivered by our Honorable Supreme Court Judge Mr. Ranjan Gogoi, who explained social change and judicial reform are interconnected, and considering the situation, Indian judiciary is in need of a revolution. Another senior most Supreme Court Judge, Honorable Justice Chalameshwar, who is now retired, had warned Indian citizens that societies that are not vigilant risk losing their constitutionally guaranteed liberties. It is the role of civil society to constantly keep a vigil on all the activities of the state, be it the executive, legislative or judicial activity. Judiciary is not apart from the state. It is a part of our state. Recently, Delhi High Court asked its rule committee to consider changes in its rules to allow double-sided printing in filing after hearing a petition of a lawyer advocate Gaurav Pathak. Such petition was already filed in the High Court of Madhya Pradesh, and on 30th December 2016, Honorable Madhya Pradesh High Court amended its rules to allow filing of double-sided prints to save paper cost and time. In a recent judgment, Honorable Apex Court directed to appoint professionally qualified court managers, preferably with an MBA degree, must be appointed to render assistance in performing the court administration. The said post of court managers must be created in each judicial district for assisting principal judges and session judges. Keeping everything into consideration, we must say that things have changed in our justice system, but there is a long way to go. Changes could be big or small, but one thing we must accept, that this is the high time for us to recognize the areas of improvement in our justice system, post which we will have to figure out required solution at the earliest to make our justice system best in the world. During this course, we need to understand what worked for Denmark, Norway, Finland, Sweden, Netherlands might or might not work for India. It means imitating everything from advanced nations is not going to serve our purposes. Keep justice system aside. In India, main issue are unethical behavior, unethical practices which are contrary to the laws, arbitrary practices, and corruption which are deeply rooted in our society. For example, corrupts don't consider themselves corrupt in most of the cases. Isn't it truth? Yes, this is truth. This is all in this video. In next video, I will come back with one more important issue. Thanks for watching this video. We look forward your support to accelerate this campaign. Please do not forget to like and subscribe this video, and